Hey, Lawndale family. I'm going to miss seeing you all tonight. I definitely feel out of sorts. It's a Wednesday afternoon at 4:45, and nobody's around. We're not planning and preparing for our Wednesday night family meal and classes, especially this time of year when ordinarily we're really busy and there's a lot going on. However, though we can't meet together physically, we can gather in other ways. With that in mind, let me call your attention to Jeremy's devotionals on the Psalms that he's prepared for this week. Check out his video for how to use them. The overall plan for this is to highlight certain Psalms, one per day, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and use them in personal devotions and family devotions. And the first one begins today. We can start tonight. So that we can't gather physically this evening, we can start to gather around a shared reflection on the same psalm, either as individuals or as families. And so this is a strange and stressful season. Certainly we're dealing with unique uncertainties and challenges, both in our jobs and also at home. We couldn't have foreseen this. At the same time, we do have more unplanned or unaccounted for time. So let's use this opportunity to engage intentionally with our families and to emphasize personal and family prayer. And this could be our special Lenten practice this year. So very appropriately, Jeremy began the daily Psalm studies with Psalm 23. This is a really good time to think of God as our shepherd, closely caring for us. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I won't lack anything from such a good shepherd. And I know you each have ways God has used this psalm and continues to use this psalm in your lives to speak with you, to comfort you, to encourage you. I still remember a number of years ago needing to make a big decision and not being sure what decision to make. And God used that phrase, He makes me lie down in green pastures, to reassure me that though I was really fitful and unsure, He was all about making me enter into the right place and helping me rest in that. So a couple of ideas I really like when I approach Psalm 23. One idea is, before David could ever be the shepherd king of Israel, he first had to learn to be a contented sheep of the good shepherd. He had to learn to be content with God's management of his life before he could ever lead Israel. I think David basically wrote Psalm 23 when he was a teenager. He was young, out keeping his father's sheep by himself at night, thinking through all he had done that day, all the care nonstop he had given the sheep. They couldn't do anything for themselves. And then reflecting on how God constantly does that and much more for him. And he turned that to prayer, to a praise-filled reflection of God. Another thing I really like is this psalm is the most personal passage in the entire Old Testament. In just 6 verses, it has 17 personal pronouns. I, me, my, count them up. It's really striking. It makes an impact. God shepherds you personally, individually. Your unique struggles, fears, concerns, hopes. It's personal. I also like what Paul Miller says in his Praying Life. When times get difficult, we oftentimes just kind of close ourselves off or get resigned or even cynical. And he has this to say. He says, both the child and the cynic walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The cynic focuses on the darkness. The child focuses on the shepherd. And you see, that makes all the difference. David has his own challenges, but he's focusing on the shepherd. So in the midst of our weakness and need, we go to our very sufficient shepherd. We go to him with even more confidence than David did. We know him who is the shepherd incarnate, our good shepherd who took the full impact of the valley of the shadow of death. He did that for us to undo the root cause of it, our sin and our guilt. Because of this, we know life, abundant life, a life of goodness and mercy, a prepared table of fellowship with our Father is our true standing, condition, situation now, and even more so in the future. So let's walk through this psalm together tonight and each of the studies as they come out and respond to the questions together. And let's do the same for the other psalms. And let's turn the psalms over in our prayer to God to deepen our trust in Him, our love for Him, and also to lift before Him the needs of those in our body and also in our world during this very difficult time as we focus on the Good Shepherd and be contented sheep of His. May the Lord bless you and keep you.